Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of My Perspective Podcast with your boy Big Hulk. Thank y'all, man, for another episode of rocking with me. Man, I appreciate you for tuning in another week, man. Thank y'all for the new subscribers, too. Well, y'all just don't know, y'all making my day by day. Subscribers going up, the feedback going up, the engagement going up, the interaction going up. Man, I appreciate y'all. Boy, y'all had me second guessing myself for a minute. But man, look here. Thank you for the support. And I thank you for man just tuning in week in and week out. To all my faithfuls. Um I know, man, I got an unpopular opinion about a lot of things. But it's okay. It's just my perspective at the end of the day. You know, like I say every week, I hope what I say resonate with you. I hope it provokes thought, and I hope it provokes change. But if not, it's okay, because at the end of the day, it's just what? My perspective. It's how I see things. It's how I experience things. It's how I think about things, how life did me. So I'm just sharing based on my life experiences. That's it. No more, no less. I hope it's entertaining. Even if it don't help you, I hope it's entertaining. Um, because everything a person say, you can always use to your advantage at some point in time in life. So that's just it. Y'all forgive me. But yeah, that's just it. So even if a person, even if I say something that you don't agree with, that don't mean it ain't helpful to somebody else. That's just it. Like I see a lot of people on these shows, these podcasts. I watch them. I'm locked into several different people I watch, and I don't agree with everything they say, but they helping some people too, though. That's just how I go. You know, I ain't everybody cup of tea. Everybody not my cup of tea. The sooner we realize that about ourselves personally and individually, that you ain't everybody cup of tea, man, your life take off in a whole other direction, whole different. You'll go to a whole other level. You won't worry so much. You won't care about what people think because you already know half these jokers don't like you no way. The other half on the fence. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. So you'll learn how to just do you and do life and do what works best for you in your house. Make you a better person. I'm trying to tell you. So yeah, man. Thank y'all, man, for rocking out with your boy another week. Um, let's get to it. So man, listen. I've been rocking the show for about 6 months, 7 months now, and everybody, male or female, think what they say is the 100% absolute truth. We believe that. At least we would like to think that. But man, I'm learning, like, man, in life, you go through stages in life. You go through different time periods and different eras in life. I'm talking about individually. So I've been hooping and hollering and screaming and yelling about my perspective, my perspective. And I already told y'all, man, it's just my perspective. However, I drink my own Kool-Aid. I believe what I say. I think what I say is the best out here. Like, you're supposed to think that. But man, I had to stop and think for real. I'm 50 years old. Well, I'll be 50 January. Um, but that 25-year-old who listening to me, what I'm saying at 50 may not necessarily apply to the individual who's 25, who's 21. That don't mean he can't listen to what I'm saying and apply to make himself better. But that don't necessarily apply to them at that stage in their life because they're in a different phase of life. When I was 21, man, I was having the time of my life, living life on the edge. You know, didn't care about death, didn't care about possibly die. No, we were taking chances. We were just doing us at 21. You know, we'll worry about the consequences later. You know, when I got 25, I got married. Um, got wife got pregnant early. My ex-wife got pregnant early. Honeymoon baby. You know what I'm saying? So boom. Now I got people to think about. I got people who depending on me. I got a wife and 2 kids. Eventually, a wife and 3 kids. So, I'm 25. Shit, about 40. Man, I was trying to make sure my kids were straight. Make sure my family was straight. Make sure I got them to a place where we can be on autopilot. And everything was kind of like on cruise control. So, from that time frame, 18 to 25, yeah, you just having a ball. You just enjoying life. You're looking for love, but if you don't get it, it ain't the end of the world. You want to be employed, but if you don't start your career, it ain't the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, when you get married, start having kids, man, things change. The things you once did, you start tapering some of that stuff off. You start tapering some things off, like you're not as adventurous because now you got kids that depend on you. You got a wife that depends on you. You got a husband that depends on you. You see what I'm saying? So you're not as adventurous. Like you're not as willing to pick up and just go because you got responsibilities now, real bills now. You see what I'm saying? And then when you turn 40, man, men go through midlife crisis. Men go through midlife crisis. That's when that first marriage is really tested. That's when that first marriage is really tested. So men trying to regain their youth. I mean, I hate to admit it then. My ex-wife told me I was going through a midlife crisis. Told her she was crazy. But when I look back on it, she wasn't lying. She wasn't lying. Man, I started by balling again. Like I was legit at 40. I mean, I was fortunate I looked pretty decent for my age. I ain't look quite 40, but man, I started by balling again. Man, I bought some leather pants. My children thought I was the lamest nigga on the planet. Like, Dad, you doing too much. Like, Dad, really, Dad? I can remember AJ Jr. He was like, really, Dad? Leather pants. He just shook his head. You doing too much. That shit was so funny. But, man, I was reliving my youth. At the time, you couldn't tell me that. Man, I had a Mercedes Benz. Shit. It was my wife's home, but shit, I take that bitch out on the weekend and go ham. You know what I'm saying? Just balling. To the club, these little joint hole in the wall in South Carolina. Man, having a ball. Shit, doing all kind of shit. And got a wife and kids. One thing about none of that because now we already established financially. Everything on autopilot. They kind of live a little bit. Me and my wife at all, it's okay. It's okay. You be mad by yourself tonight. I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, from 40 to shit. Man, probably about 46, 47, 46. Man, I having the time of my life. Really shit. 40, yeah, 47, 46, 45, 46. Got divorced. Went through that slump. Depressed. I let my kids down, let my family down. I felt like a failure. My marriage didn't work. Disregarding all the shit I called to mess my marriage up. Nevertheless, I was just thinking, man, I failed my family. So now I'm trying to get my family back. She said, nigga, kick rocks. She said, kick rocks, I'm cool on you. So now, man, I'm in my 40s, my mid 40s, and had all this fun, jeopardized and ruined my whole marriage. Now I'm trying to figure it out. And then, you meet somebody and try to do it all over again. But it ain't quite the same. It's not quite the same. So now I'm going through my mid 40s, trying to restart my life with a new person. Man, it's hit or miss, hit or miss. And for me, I found somebody. Unfortunately, she passed away. That was devastating. On top of the divorce, now that's another devastation. Shoot, man. You just keep on trying to get it. You keep on trying to make it. Shoot, we're in a new era now. This social media era is different. So yeah, everybody don't want the same thing. So it's hit or miss. And now you're older. And now your tolerance is less. Your patience is less. Your non-negotiables is more. So it's even harder today to find somebody that fits your needs and your requirements. And are you willing to give what you require? Most times not. We want A, B, and C, but we ain't willing to get A, B, and C. So you go through different levels in life. Now that I'm pushing 50, I'm married again. But now that I'm pushing 50, man, I'm starting to settle for shit I wouldn't settle for in my 30s and my 20s. Even in my 40s. I'm starting to settle for shit I wouldn't settle for. Why? Because I feel my mortality now. I know I'm not invincible now. I see death around the corner now. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm more cautious. I'm not that willing to take these risks. Now I look both ways before I cross the street. I ain't fast like I used to be. I can't jump high as I used to jump. I can't run fast like I used to run. I'm more cautious now. You know, you get these ailments and things. Blood pressure getting high, man. Diabetes starting to get pushing up on you. Your cholesterol high. You know, your breathing a little different. When you got carpal tunnel, all kind of shit. Shit you ain't think about when you was 20 and 30 years old. Now all this shit on your ass at one time. So now you just want a companion to help you get through life. Big difference. So I'm saying all that to say this. Everything you hear, it may not apply to you, but don't disregard it. Just put it in your pocket and save it for later. I hear these guys who talk about marriage and relationships, and they talking through their lens. They talking from their perspective, and they're not wrong in what they're saying, but it's not an absolute truth. It just depends on where you are in life. And same goes for what I'm saying. The things I'm telling y'all is from a dude that's pushing 50 years old. Older guy, late 40s, early 50s. You know what I'm saying? It's a different conversation in my age range. So I'm talking from an older man's perspective. I'm not talking from a young man's perspective. Can I give a young man some wisdom? I can. If they listen, it'll make them more advanced in their younger years. If they don't, it's all good because they're not there yet. They're not there yet. They're gonna have to make a few more mistakes to get it, and that's fine. So yeah, I listen to like I said a few past few weeks now. I know all the stats. I know all the statistics. About marriage and relationships and what women gonna do and what they're not gonna do, what men gonna do and what they're not gonna do. I get all of that. But the key factor in all of that is where are you in your life? What stage and what age are you in your life? Let's talk body count for example. When you young, man, the body count really does matter. It really does matter to individuals. Yeah, like dudes. When a young man asks that question, how many people you been with? That's really important to him. That's really important to him. How many baby daddies you got? That's really important to him. How many kids you got? That's really important to him. I can remember dating this girl. I liked her too. Man, we was in our 20s. I told her had 5 kids. She had 5 kids and she was pregnant with one. No, she had 4 and she was pregnant with number 5 when I met her. You couldn't even tell it. You couldn't even tell it. But she was fine as cat hair. You hear me? Bad to the bone. But this is country and hood that she wanted to be. I ain't had no problem with that because shit, I liked it. However, she wanted to be in a relationship with me. I was in my 20s. Early 20s at that. Get what I told her. I think I was about 24. About 24. I said, man, I like you. I like kicking it with you. I don't mind helping you. I said, but you can't be my girlfriend. She said, why? Why we can't just be together? I said, I don't want to be poor. I said, if I make you my girlfriend, I got to take care of you and your 4 kids. And I don't want to be poor right now. I'm having the ball right now. And I want to continue having the ball. So that's why I can't be your boyfriend. Now, admit that shit. But take that same woman, if I had met her in my 30s, it'd been a different conversation. Had I met her in my 40s, different conversation. Meet in my 50s, definitely a different conversation. Because things change the older you get. The older you get. So yeah. As you get older, certain things you don't worry about. Does body count matter? it affects how you look at the person, but it don't affect how you pursue that person, depending on what stage and what age you are in life. Don't nobody want to know your body count for real. If I'm gonna be honest, don't nobody really want to know your body count. But you have to manage your expectations, and you do that the older you get. When you're young, that shit really bothers you. As you get older, it still stings a little bit, but it ain't that big of a deal because we done been through some things. Now you my age, how the hell I look asking a 40-some-year-old, 50-some-year-old how many people they been with, and they 50, yeah, half a century old like me, 100 plus, 3 million miles. That's my rule of thumb. That's my rule of thinking. At my age, 100 niggas, 3 million miles. That's how I feel. And that's not to say that's true or accurate, but that's just how I manage my expectations. So, like, man, nigga, you have no business thinking about a body count and you are half a century old. You can, but for what? You know good and well, you know what you've been through up until this point in life. So what make you think she ain't been through similar things? It should be a no-brainer. But we have these gurus. We have these influencers who do a great job on their podcast. I ain't attacking. But what I'm saying is this. They coming from an angle that may be right, but the listener, every listener is not in the same stage and same age in life. So you take what I say with a grain of salt. You take what they say with a grain of salt. It just depends on what stage and what age you are in life. That's just it. Man, please. My wife today, man, I dare not ask her these questions. We're close in age. Why would I ask her these questions? To have an upset stomach? No, I just already know. I ain't gotta ask her, I already know. That's just how I think. You gotta ask them the question, I already know. But if I was 25, yeah, I'm asking questions. If it's too many, got to go. 30, still won't ask you a question. Now I'm on the fence. 40, man, I ain't thinking about that shit. 50, damn sure I ain't thinking about that shit. And 50, well, I'm waiting on my AARP card. I'm trying to get some discounts in these restaurants now. I'm trying to get somewhere and chill. And just be happy. And just be happy. You start to settle for some things that you wouldn't normally settle for when you're younger. That's just the natural progression of life. And if you don't settle, you have every right not to settle. But if you don't settle, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be by yourself. And don't nobody want to be by themselves. If statistics show, and I don't give hard numbers because to me that's not important. I give certain statistics or I say certain things just for point of reference. But it's proven that if you get married between 18 and 25, the chances are of your marriage lasting the test of time is far greater than when you get married in your 30s and 40s. 18 to 25 is the ideal time for a person to get married. Why? Because both of y'all young and dumb and full of cum. And y'all just love each other and y'all believe in each other and y'all grow together. And you grow together. You keep your family out your business, you'll be fine. You'll go through your bumps and bruises, but you'll learn and grow together. And those marriages tend to last longer than a person who either on their second marriage or who get married later in life. Because you're young, you're naive, you don't have much life experience. So you're experiencing life with your partner. That's a great thing. Whether you realize it or not, that's a great thing. Some people say, oh, you're not mature enough. That's fine. But you believe in each other. Y'all got each other back. Y'all young, y'all naive, and y'all ready to see the world together. It intends to last longer. My mom and daddy got married, man, 17 to 18. They've been married 61 years. 61 years. They done been through all types of hard times, heartache. My daddy cheated on my mom, got a baby, got my brother. They stood the test of time because of the bond they created when they were really young. Had that happened and she was in her 30s or her 40s, man, he would have kicked rocks. Get out. She wouldn't have thought about it no more 9 times out of 10. But because they was young and had that foundation um, as young and naive and believing each other, they was able to withstand that and still continue to grow and build. They separated for a minute, but the love they had for each other stood the test of time. But the older you get, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. So if 18 to 25, those are the ideal years for companionship and long term relationships. From 26 shit to 49, it's hit or miss. That don't mean you can't have a successful relationship because people do. But man, you begin to have these rules and these non-negotiables and your peace and this and that. So things are always challenging. And if you do stand the test of time, it becomes very toxic. It becomes very combative and very argumentative. And when you hit 50, for a man, when you hit 50, you begin to see where you messed up at in your 40s, 30s, and 20s. And it affects you. It affects you. And then you begin to see death all around you. People dying and close people dying, and you like, damn, I ain't got nobody to share my life with. I'm 50. I'm gonna die alone. That haunts a lot of men. So guess what? They want companionship even shit worse than ever. So guess what? They'll get somebody that may not be conventional or may not be their typical standard. And then they'll live happily ever after. Why? Because they don't want to die alone, and all these things that we make out to be so important ain't that important after all. Same for women. When they get 50, and they 50, man, they gainfully employed, they empty nesters, their credit is great, and they by themselves lonely. They got that dog licking on them and carrying on. And they want companionship too. So guess what now? They don't fuss as much. They don't require as much. They still want you to do right by them, but it ain't that rigid. It's not that rigid. They just want to go on a cruise every year. They want to go to Vegas every year. They just want to travel and do life with their significant other. It ain't that important no more because we see, man, we gonna be a lot older than we are younger. You see what I'm saying? So when you see your mortality, man, things change. Things change. So when you see these people on the internet talking their talk, especially from the men's side, um, about single parents and single moms, this and that. When you're younger, yeah, you probably want to talk to a single mom with a bunch of kids. You'll probably, you'll play with her. You'll play with her, but you won't make her your lady. But when you get older, shit, man, them 2 or 3 kids ain't that bad after all. Them 4 or 5 kids ain't too bad. They grown. Yeah, we can do this. Yeah, it ain't that bad after all. Cause your needs change, your desires change, your your standards change as you get older. So yeah, you don't mind playing stepdad the older you get. When you're young though, it's a little bit different. Not saying you won't do it, but you're less likely to do it. You're less likely to do it unless you just really have a thing for the children. Like me, I love the kids. I love the kids, but I didn't want to be broke at 20 years old, 24 years old. I didn't want to be broke at 24 years old. Man, please. So I had to make a decision, and I made it. But in my 40s, yeah, no. And don't get me wrong, I've dated women who had children when I was in my early 20s, but it didn't last. It didn't last. Man, a baby daddy couldn't come to me in sideways in my 20s. We can have a conversation, but you couldn't come to me sideways. And I'm taking care of you. I'm helping take care of your kids. Bro, we're gonna have a problem. But now I can have a conversation with a cat. I can have a drink with a cat. Yeah, we can have a drink together. So we can have something dinner together now. It's just different because things change the older you get. It ain't about no tough guy shit. It ain't about no, you know what I'm saying? All this old this and that. It's about respect at the end of the day now. Things just begin to change. And listen, the older you get, you be with your new lady, your ex be with her new man. When y'all be at family functions together, everybody just be chilling. You want to do that crap in your 20s? It'll be a little bit different in your 20s. It'll be a little bit different in your 30s. Some guys are mature, some women are mature. Most of us ain't. So yeah, it just man, you go through different stages in life, and it just depends on what stage in life you in, how you gonna receive certain messages. You see what I'm saying? So, especially when it comes to relationship, because on my perspective podcast, we focus on relationship. Yeah, even though we think we're different, you know what I'm saying? We focus on relationship, and it depends on what stage and what age in life you're in, on how you're going to respond to said communication concerning relationship, and how you're going to treat um, certain individuals in relationships. That's just it. That's kind of um, unknown fact or unwritten rule. You feel me? So we can't just accept everything from everybody as the gospel. It's the gospel for them because that's their experience. If a man teaching on relationship, he married his wife at 18 years old, and they've been married for 20 years, that means he's 38. His message is going to be completely different than the person who has had a few failed relationships, had probably a failed marriage, got kids from 2 or 3 different women. It's going to be a different message. That don't make the person with one girlfriend, one marriage for 20 years wrong. But what it does mean, it may not be the best message for a person who done been through some things in life. That's all it means. So when you tell a woman, go back to your baby daddy, make that work. It ain't that damn easy. You saying that because you figured out how to make your relationship work. And kudos to you. Kudos to you. And that's the ideal situation. So talk, talk your talk. You know, do your thing. And I applaud you for that. But unfortunately, that message don't apply to everybody. It just don't. It don't apply to everybody. Because everybody experience life different. I don't know the trauma you've been through. I don't know um, how your upbringing is. How was it? I don't know how your relationship went from a youth to an adult. So all these things factor in on how you view life and factor in on what you experience in life. So yeah, um, long live Kevin Samuel. I love him. I'm a rock with him. I believe in his message. But man, everything he said, even though it was true, it wasn't absolute truth because the woman may have wanted to stay with her baby daddy. He may not want to stay with her. You never know. Or the man may have wanted to stay with his baby mama. She may not want to stay with him. So how you gonna tell somebody to go back and make it work? You can't, because it takes two to make it work. So, and unfortunately for women, y'all start holding the bag, i.e. the baby. That luggage gonna be with you today 18 at least. Sometimes 25. Just depending on if you let them stay, let them stay. You know what I'm saying? Depending on if they sorry or if they got good work ethic, it just depends. So yeah, 26, 30. It just depends on if you are an enabler or not, and if they just sorry as hell or not. Do they got work ethic or not? Are they self motivated or not? It just depends. So yeah, it just depends on. It's a lot of factors that come to play, and it ain't so cut and dry for me to tell you to go back home to your baby daddy, your first baby daddy, and make it work, or how you gonna expect another man to take care of two deadbeat kids. two deadbeat daddy's kid, and then you call a man a crash dummy and this and that, and it's and trust me, I'm a stepfather. I get all of it. And as a stepfather, you feel like a crash dummy sometimes. You do, but that don't mean that's an accurate statement for everybody. That don't mean that's an accurate statement for everybody because it depends on what stage and what age you are in life. People have to grow and mature. People have to grow and mature, and everybody don't have role models. Everybody don't have um, um, people who guide them, who give them advice. Everybody don't have wisdom in their ear. Some of us, the majority of us, is out here shooting from the hip, trial and error in everything we do. So these conversations, although they're necessary and although they're great for information, it does not apply and it does not resonate with everybody the same. It just depends on what stage and what age you are in life. It also depends on if you take constructive criticism. It also depends on if you take wisdom, you take knowledge. Do you get it? Are you good at getting advice from older people or different people who got your best interest at heart? So there's a lot of factors that apply into what we do, and how we receive information, and how we go about our life and finding relationships. Yeah, because I've met single moms, 4 kids, three baby daddies. Children are exceptional, straight A students, very well mannered, polite, like ain't no riffraff, understand when mom in a relationship, respect this man as the head or as as mama, boyfriend and potential future husband, shit like that. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised how some women have raised their kids. Unfortunately, that woman, she damn near a unicorn. But I've seen it though. I know it exists. You got other women who just they just shoot from the hip. They just flying by the seat of their pants. They just doing the best they can to make it day to day because they ain't got no help. And they crying, woe is me. You know, there's always this negativity come out their mouth because they baby daddies wasn't no good. So to a woman like that, girl, go look in the goddamn mirror because you the common denominator in all that. If you got multiple kids, got multiple baby daddies, but everybody wrong but you the problem. You the problem. 9 times out of 10. Because you making these decisions, okay, so what? I don't want to use no condom. You don't have to let me have sex with you if I don't want to use the condom. That means you make a joker do right by you. But you choose not to. But then you want to play victim. You had just as much responsibility in that as the man did. And a man who don't take care of their child, they bums to me. They bums. They FNs to me. Can't stand a nigga who don't take care of their child. That's how I feel about it. So don't think I'm not holding men accountable. It's certain people I don't talk to no more because they don't take care of their kids. They ain't good fathers. So that's how I feel personally. So I'm not giving the man no pass. But the harsh reality is this. Them children coming with the mama 9 times out of 10. So y'all have to deal with raising the kids by yourself, whether you like it or not. Because you're the custodial parent. But the children came from you, from your body, your womb. That's just the reality of it. So if you have a man who's willing to be active in your child's life, you better let it. You better let it. But when it comes to dating, certain things aren't as important the older you get. The younger you are, certain things are very important. But the older you get, certain things ain't that important. So don't allow a person who may be young, who may have a different dynamic in his own personal relationship, tell you you're wrong and where you at in your relationship at your age. Because everything's different based on age and stage of life. That's just it. That's just it. If you willing to be by yourself and happy, you ain't gonna put up with nothing. But if you want companionship, you're gonna settle in your older age. It's just a given. That's just a given. It's gonna be some give and take, and there's gonna be more giving than it is taking. Trust me, it's gonna be more giving than it is taking. When you're younger, in my opinion, if anybody listening to me who are in their early 20s, find your love now, get married now, build your life with them now. If you ain't ready to get married, do not get married. If you want to play the field, have fun, sow your raw oats, slang that little coochie, do it. Have a good time before you settle down. But if you're a family oriented person, you believe in marriage, man, get it out the way early, find your life partner early, and build and grow and live happily ever after. Because it do work. And it works better early on in life than it do later on in life. It's so men and women out here who have been married 6, 7, 8 times trying to find love. But you know what? The older you get, the more soul ties you attach to. It makes it harder to just trust and depend on the current situation you're in. But as you get older, in your 50s, 60s, 70s, what have you, man, you just want somebody to help give you your medicine. You remind each other to take your medicine, to go to the doctor's appointment with you. You know what I'm saying? So things are way different. And you settle for way more things than you would when you were a lot younger. So that's just it. I'm a podcaster now. I'm an influencer now. Man, I don't got the truth. My truth don't apply to everybody. Truth is relative to the individual. That's what you got to understand. And that depends on the age and stage and life the individual's in. That's just it. That's why when a person is telling the truth and the other person argues that truth that I say, it don't resonate with them because they're in a different stage and age in life. That's just it. That don't mean what I'm saying ain't accurate. That don't mean what I'm saying ain't the truth. It just doesn't. It just ain't relative to that individual because of where they're at in life, or they're just not willing to be accountable, i.e., women. Yeah. But we ain't gonna go there. We ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna talk. I ain't dogging women today. Maybe next week, not today. So I'm gonna end it right there. Like, your age and your stage in life is very, very vital and very, very important when it comes to dating and relationships. If you get married early, 9 times out of 10, your marriage lasts a lot longer. My first marriage lasted 18 years, and we dated for 3 months, if that. Got married really early, lasted 18 years. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, we still supposed to be married right now. But due to my stubbornness and my pride, you know, and my ego and how, some things that she did to me because I hurt her, because hurt people, I won't get past it. I chose not to get past it. I chose to move on. That's what I did. But we still could have made it. We really supposed to be married right now today. But, things happen, it is what it is. I don't cry with spilled milk. Just keep it pushing. But that due to we got married young. We were very impressionable with each other. We believed in one another. We didn't say I believe in you. She didn't say she believed in me. We just showed it. Man, her eyes would just light up glowingly. I'd be happy to see her. And whatever we decided to do, it was never no fight. We just did it. But we did it together. As we got older, that's when the friction came. But by then, the bond was so tight, we wasn't going nowhere. We just worked through it. That's the key to it. Creating a bond that's so tight that you can work through anything. But when you 30 and 40 trying to date, the bond it's not as tight because you done been through so much heartache, so much turmoil. You ain't so willing to just give your heart to somebody that fast. And that's where the friction and the contention come in at. So that's just it. What stage and what age in life are you in? Let me know in the comments. And that will tell you a lot about your dating life or your relationship life. That's just it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Before I go, man, y'all do me a favor. Subscribe to my channel. That'll help me get the numbers up. Y'all really helping me, but let's get this thing to triple digits. Let's get it to triple digits. You know, I want to be the big dog in the podcast space too, but it takes time. Help me get in triple digits, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your friend to subscribe. If you subscribe, tell your friend to subscribe. Tell your friend, tell their friend to subscribe. Let's grow this channel, man. Help me get out the truck and get into a nice place to sit down and have some interviews. That's the goal in 2025. To start having interviews in real time. All right? That's it for this episode of My Perspective Podcast. This is your boy Big Hawk. Until next week, I love y'all. Peace.